Hello, and thank you for joining me today. This session is going to focus on finding some yoga poses or doing some yoga poses that can help you wind down your day and fall asleep. I know for me, sometimes your mind is racing, right? You might be exhausted, climb into bed, and you can't fall asleep. Might be memories, might be thoughts and distractions and whatever it could be. Loss tends to really do a lot of upheaval, has a very disruptive effect on our daily routines and our sleep. So I'm going to share with you a few things that I do. One is to light a candle, either scented or not. There's a nice aesthetic that you can get with candles if you have some, as long as you remember to blow them out before you go to sleep. I also love lavender water, so I will spray it on my pillows, even just around me. Sometimes I'll put a little lavender into the candle if it's unscented. Lavender is a nice calming effect as well. And I'm going to start with a few little cat-cow movements, because one of the things I've found is if I go to bed without checking in with my body, I can be disturbed by it. There might be some tension, some aches and pains. So we're going to start by just flowing gently through some cat-cows. And it feels really nice to do this in a more organic way. This linear inhaling and exhaling to cat is really what you're feeling like doing today. Go ahead and do that. This is meant to be your practice. I'm just here to guide you. But rolling out your hips, creating some organic movements, maybe rolling out your shoulders. Doesn't have to be any particular direction. Just moving your spine. So it's similar to cat-cow because you still are inhaling and exhaling as you let your spine move, but you're letting your shoulders and your hips really get into the action as well. And notice what you feel. Is there a certain point? Is there a certain move where you feel some tension built up? If there is, feel free to stop and, tune into it. For me, I can feel something right here, right? So I'm going to stop for a minute, tap it out, and then come back and inhaling and exhaling again. So just move as much or as little as feels good to you, stopping along the way to take care of any tense areas. And then bring your toes together and your knees wide and press yourself back into a child's pose. If you'd like, you can bring a block here for your forehead and just let yourself sink in here. Just again, maybe wiggling it out a little bit so that you can sink into that hip opener. Maybe you feel a little release in your lower back. Child's pose is a great calming pose. And we're going to stay here for a little while. So make yourself comfortable and just imagine the tension just flowing down your spine, releasing, melting away. You may trace the flow of your breath up and down your spine. And you can stay here for, up to 10 minutes. So feel free to pause the video and just stay in child's pose as long as feels good to you. And when you're ready to move on to the next pose, gently let your arms come under your shoulders, pressing yourself back up into tabletop. We're going to move our knees forward and come down onto our seat. And let your legs come out in front of you in Dandasana. I'm going to recommend that you find at this point some bed pillows or a bolster, blankets. We're going to come into a supported forward fold here. You can do this with your legs wide. I like to do it in butterfly pose with my feet together. And you can do this with blocks underneath your knees if that's more comfortable for you. You want to feel supported here. You really want to just feel like, you've got everything you need to feel stable. That really helps us with our ability to sleep. And you can, if you have a bolster, then you can take it out at an angle like this and let yourself fold forward and let your head rest on the bolster. And then you can just kind of use the angle of the bolster to support you in coming down as far as you'd like. If you put the bolster a little further away, you can come down a little more. If you don't have a bolster, you can still enjoy this posture. Maybe you'll bring some pillows and blocks and you'll just create a little tower for yourself out of whatever you have. You can have your feet around your props. You can use your hands and just fold forward here. And again, just feeling that flow of tension. You might feel some tingling in your hip area, or your hips and your lower back come together. I can really feel the sensation right here on both sides, but it's subtle. So if you're not feeling anything, that's okay. That doesn't mean you're not releasing tension. And just breathing here. Feeling a nice full inhale and a nice complete exhale. And again, this is a nice one to just trace the flow of your breath up and down your spine, from your tailbone, up your vertebrae, your neck, to the crown of your head. Imagining that your breath is able to melt away any barriers you might have to relax. Imagine on the inhale, it's as if you're getting prepared to blow out a candle. And on the exhale, go ahead and blow it out. And when you blow it out, feel free to just release whatever it is that might be stirring up your mind. I also invite you to have a pen and paper next to you, and if there's things that are on your mind that are creating some anxiousness or just keeping your mind from settling down, pause here, stop the video and take a little pause and write them down. Things, maybe they're things on a to-do list that you know you aren't going to do today, but you need to get to, and they're worrying you. Maybe you are uncertain about something that's going to happen to you tomorrow. Put it all down, write it down, take as much time as you need, and just come back to the video when you're done. And that will let you release all that from your mind. If it's important to remember, you'll have written it down and you can go back and look at it another day. You can also stay here as long as you'd like, just like with the prior pose. So feel free, if this feels really good, go ahead and pause the video and stay here a little longer. And when you're ready, you can walk yourself back up. You'll take your props away. And then we're going to roll down onto our backs. And just find the grounding here. Feeling the soles of your feet connected to the mat. Feeling your shoulders nice and wide. Taking a moment to create a little more space. Fill up your space here. You don't need to make yourself small. Just spread out. And then bring your shins up parallel to the earth. And we're going to take our knees over to the right hand side. And I like to have my hands out in a T. You can either gaze up at the ceiling or gaze out over the opposite direction away from your knees. And just let that release of this gentle reclined twist just open and release tension that you may be holding in your hips. This is a location where we often hold tension and fears about things that we might name or not even be able to name, things that have accumulated over time. Just exhaling, letting it all melt away. Inhaling to fill that space with something fresh and clear. And exhaling to rinse it out. We're going to go ahead and inhale our knees back up to center. Help them up however you need to. If you've come off center, go ahead and get yourself realigned, putting your feet back down, feeling stable, and bringing the shins back, letting the knees come over now to the opposite side. And again, your gaze can either come out over your opposite hand or up at the ceiling. And sink in. Notice if you're clenching. See, are you holding on to any tension in your shoulders and your neck? Are you clenching anywhere in your legs or your buttocks? Just release it just a little bit more. Taking a nice deep breath in, bringing your knees back up to center. Just bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug, maybe rock side to side a little. And then we're going to do a little digestion work here. So letting your left leg come out straight, bringing your right knee into your chest. Sometimes we have trouble processing things, whether it's food or thoughts or memories or conversations. And so these poses are really good for your digestion, the twists and the turns and the compression. So pulling that right knee into your chest very deeply with your feet flexed. Maybe take that right knee to the outside of your right ribs, getting a little bit of a different compression here, helping you digest things, helping process things so that they don't keep you up at night. And then we'll bring that knee to center. Take your left hand on the outside of your right knee and your right arm outstretched. And then we'll do a half twist here. So similar, but this time we're just bringing our right knee over to the left. Our left leg is extended long. Our gaze is over our right hand. Just feel into it. Notice where you might feel some sensations. Might be subtle. Just tune into them. Listen to what your body is going through. Listen to the signals it's giving you to slow down, maybe. Then we'll roll back to center, bring your left knee in to meet your right, and then we'll switch sides, letting our right leg come out, bringing the left knee into our chest. And again, really hugging in on your shin, just really feeling that compression, flexing the feet. Breathing in here. Holding these poses a little longer really lets you get things wrung out instead of rushing from pose to pose. And we can bring our left knee out to the outside of our left ribs, just like we did on the other side. A little bit of a different angle on this. Really wringing out those inner organs, helping with the physical digestion. But it also metaphorically helps with digesting everything. And then bringing that left knee up, right hand on the outside of the left knee to bring the left knee over to the right. Right leg is still straight, and you can bring your gaze over to your left hand and just feel that nice release on your left side. I can feel this in my lower back and my left buttock, both shoulders anchored down. Go ahead and bring that left knee back up. And we're going to come up to legs up the wall pose. If you have a place that you can rest your feet, I invite you to move over towards that. I'm going to blow out my candles here so that I don't knock them over. And I'm going to use my desk here, but feel free to use a wall. If you don't have anything to use, take a block and place it underneath your sacrum and just let your feet come up to the sky. Letting your shoulders be wide, arms out away from your body. Your palms can either be raised or down. You feel like you want to welcome in some inspiration, keep them up facing towards the ceiling. And if you want to just build some internal calm, then go ahead and let them come down. And if you do have something that you can rest your feet on or your legs on, feel free to bring your legs up and rest on them here. Just relaxing and releasing. You can stay in this position as long as you like. I invite you again to pause the video and just linger here as long as it feels beneficial to you. This is such a simple yet powerful pose for calming and restoring ourselves. You can do a little body scan here. Maybe noticing your toes. You don't have to move anything. We're just checking in. Feeling that calm flow from your toes, the soles of your feet, your heels, your ankles, the tops of your feet. Having your feet be totally relaxed. And letting that relaxation flow down your shins and your calves to your knees. From your knees down your thighs to your hips. And just feel your legs in their entirety totally relaxed. Taking some gentle inhales and exhales. Letting that calm flow from your hips up your torso with your breath. Feeling a sense of calm just settle along your stomach and your ribs, your heart, your chest, your shoulder blades. Feel the calm flow up your neck to your ears and your jaw. Just linger at your jaw for a moment. Maybe gently open and close your jaw a couple times, releasing any tension held here. Feel that calm flow up your cheekbones to your eyelids and your forehead, to the top of your head, and maybe down the back of your head, back of your neck, your upper shoulders in the back, your shoulder blades as they touch the earth, your biceps and your triceps, your elbows and your forearms. And just feel your body calm here. Feel the calm in your palms and your fingers. And linger here as long as you like. And when you're ready, bring your knees down into your chest, giving yourself a nice hug. Rolling over onto your right side and pausing. And if you've blown out your candles and you're all settled in, you can just climb into bed right now. And you can bring yourself back up to a seat. I'll share one last thing that I like to do when I have trouble sleeping, especially if I fall asleep and I wake up and can't go back to sleep. Bringing one hand under one armpit and the other hand under the other armpit. Just feeling that nice pressure of your fingertips on your ribs, your thumb, just resting forward, letting your shoulders come down. And just breathing here. Just letting the breath flow. This is a very grounding, calming breath move that you can do anytime that you're feeling a little unsettled or if you're having trouble sleeping. And you can shift your hands if you'd like. And then just bring your palms to rest on your knees. I hope that this practice has brought you some calm, helped you clear off all the noise that's going on that might be keeping you from a nice, sound, nourishing sleep. I hope this is something that's been useful. If it is, please go ahead and subscribe to us on Village Yoga Sedona or visit us at villageyogasedona.com to find more videos, longer length videos. And I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thank you.